So, am I audible, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so in today's class, we will be learning two topics. So, first is nested while loops, and second is for loops. Okay, so previously we have covered while loops, and today we'll be covering the extended part of it, that is nested while loops. And previously, I have also given the example of nesting in case of conditional statements. Then this while loop nesting in the while loop will be similar. Okay, so first is nested while loop. So we'll have two loops. There will be one outer loop and there will be one inner loop. So in the outer loop we will have one inner loop. That's why we call it as nesting. So if you see this loop, then you can see that here we have one while loop that is outside, and there we have here we have one inner loop. Okay, so that's why it is called as nesting. And if you see the flow chart of the nested while loop, then you can see that. So what we actually what we do in case of while loop. So first, if if this condition will be true, then we will go inside the body of this while loop. Inside the body of the outer while loop we have inner loop. Okay, firstly, if the condition 1 will be true, then we will go to the inner loop and we'll check the condition of this inner loop. If this condition is true, then we will perform the operation inside this inner while loop. Okay, so if this condition will be false, then we will exit from this while loop, and now after it we will perform the operation after this inner loop. Okay, so this chain will occur up to when up to this condition 1 will be true. Okay, so if you see this, firstly you can see that we are starting and then we are checking the test condition 1. If the test condition 1 is true, then we will go into the inner loop, and here we have test condition 2. Now we'll check the test condition 2. If this is true, okay, if this is true, then we will again check the test condition. Means after, if this test condition false, then we will do what? There will be end of this inner while loop. Okay, and next we will check again the condition of condition 1. If the condition 1 will be false, then we will exit from the whole loop. Okay, you can see that here we are exiting from the program. So if you see the example of this, so suppose that we have this test code. Okay, initially we have I is equal to 1 and we are writing while I less than 3. inside this while loop Inside this while loop we have j is equal to 1, and again writing a then we are again writing a while loop. Okay, inside this while loop, what is the condition? J less than 3. Okay, initially we have j is equal to 1 and we are writing the condition while j less than 3, print ij, and then increment the value of j by 1. Okay, so this while loop uh, will run until this j less than 3 condition will be true. When this j less than 3 condition will be false, then we will come here, and then we will update the value of I by I plus 1, and then again we will go back to the this condition. Okay, so if you want to see the flow of this program, then watch this video. Initially you can see that we have I is equal to 1, this condition is true. Okay, now we are going inside the body of this while loop. Next we have j is equal to 1 and this condition is true. Then you are printing ij, then the value of I is, for the first time the value of I is 1, and then we have j is equal to 1, so we are printing 1 1. Next we'll go back and we will check this condition. Again this condition is true, then we have printed 1 2. Okay, now you can see that what's happening. Now we have I is equal to 2. For that, we are doing this. We are running this while loop for I is equal to 2. Now we'll print 1 2. So this condition is now false. Now we'll go back to the while condition. Now this condition is false. Then we'll exit from the loop. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, everyone? Okay, so if this is not clear, then I'm giving you some example. Okay. So first, I'm giving you the conditional while loop example. So firstly, suppose that we have outer loop. Okay. So simply we are writing here a simple condition while I less than 3. Okay. And before it, we are creating I is equal to 1. Okay. And here we are writing while I less than 3, then print I, then update the value of I by 1. Okay. So if you run this program, now it is printing 1 2. Okay. So suppose that you want to write one more loop inside this while loop. So we are writing here while initially we are initializing j is equal to 1 while j less than suppose that 5 or j less than, okay, so j less than 4, then print welcome. Okay, then update the value of j by 1. If you run this program, you can see that what is the output of this program. First it is printing welcome, 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 then 1, then welcome, 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 then 2. Okay, so it is printing welcome 3 times. Now you can see that what's happening here. Initially the value of I will be 1. Okay, and then we will go inside the body of this while loop. Okay, now we'll have j is equal to 1 here. Now we will encounter a second while loop. Here we are writing while j less than 4, print welcome, and then increment the value of j by 1. So initially j will be 1. Okay, and initially j will be 1 and I will be 1. Okay, and for j is equal to 1, this condition is true. Then we will print the welcome, and then we will increment the value of j by 1. Next we will have j is equal to 2. Okay, again this condition will be true. Why? Because 2 less than 4 is true. Then we print welcome again. So we are printing here welcome again. Now the value of j will be incremented by 1. So the value of j will be 3. Okay, again this condition is true. 3 is less than 4, then we will print welcome. Now you can see that we are printing welcome. Now we'll increment the j by 1. Now the value of j will be 4. But this condition will be not true because 4 is not less than 4. So this loop will be terminated. Now we'll come to this line. So here we are printing I. So here value of I was 1. So here we are printing 1. Okay. And then we are incrementing the value of I by 1. Okay. So now we will have I, the value of I will be 2. Value of I will be 2. Next, this condition will be true because 2 is less than 3. Again we will have j is equal to 1. We will initialize the value of j by 1. So again for this, initially we will have j is equal to 1. Then again we will print welcome because this condition will be true, 1 less than 4. Again we will have j is equal to 1, then 2, then 3. So up to 1, 2, 3, our condition will be true. So after 4 will up this condition will be, this condition will be false, then we will print the value of I. Now you can see that we are printing welcome, 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 and then we are printing the value of I, that was 2. So here we are printing 2. Now we are incrementing the value of I by 1. So now we will have the value of I 3. Okay, but this condition will be not true. If this condition will not true, then we will exit from the outer loop. So exiting from the outer loop means that we will exit from the whole loop. Okay, because we cannot go inside this, then we cannot execute this loop. This is how nested while loop. This is how the nested while loop works. Okay, so I have written here conditional while loop. So here should be nested while loops. Is this clear, everyone?
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to see, I'm debugging it. Okay, so after it will be very clear to you. Okay, initially we have I is equal to 1. So all the variables will appear here. So try to see here and the output will be here. So initially we have I1 and j is equal to 1, and this condition is true because value of j is 1. Now we'll print welcome and we'll increment the value of j by 1. Again this condition will be checked. So we have the value of j as 2. So this condition will be true again. Again we'll print welcome. Now we'll increment the value of j by 1. Now the value of j is 3 and this condition is again true. So again we will print welcome, and here we are incrementing the value of j by 1. So now j will be 4. Okay, but this condition will be not true. Then we will exit from this while loop. Now we are printing the value of I, that was 1. You can see that the value of I is 1. So we are printing 1. Now we are incrementing the I by 1. So now the value of I will be 2, and this condition will be true because 2 is less than 3. Again we will do the same task. Initially we will have j is equal to 1, and then this condition will be true. We print welcome. Again we'll print welcome. Again we'll print welcome. But after, when we'll have value of j4, then we'll exit from the loop. Again here we'll print I. So I, next here I was 2. So we print 2, then we are incrementing the value of I by 1. Now the value of I will be 3. But this condition will not true because 3 is not less than 3. So we'll exit from the whole loop. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear now?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. So I'm giving you one more example. So if you write I greater than 3, while I greater than 3, if you write one person is asking, if you write while I greater than 3, then what will happen? So initially the value of I is 1, and this condition will be false because I is not greater than 3. So this whole this whole loop will be not executed. Okay, so if this condition is false, then we will exit from this while loop. Okay, so try to run this code. You will not get anything. It is not printing anything. You can debug this. Now you can see that the value of I is 1 and this condition is false. So you will exit from the whole loop. Is this clear now? Naresh, is this clear? Okay. So now I'm giving you one example. For that we want to print this structure. Okay. So you can print this structure while using the while nested while loop. So while how many rows are here? 5. So you will initially you will write I is equal to 1, and then you will write while I less than equal to 5. Then you will start the value of j is equal to 1. Then while j less than I, j less than equal to I, then print j. Okay, and after it you don't need to print anything, and then you need to increment the value of j by 1, and then print here a new line just, and then increment the value of I by 1. Okay, so if you run this program, okay, so it is printing 1 2 3 4. So here you need to write end is equal to this. Okay, now you can see that the output is 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, and then 1 2 3 5. So what are we doing here? We have initialized the value of I by 1, then we are writing I less than equal to 5. This 5 is equal to number of rows. So here we have number of rows 5. So now we are initializing the value of j by 1, and then we are writing while j less than equal to I. So you can see here why we are writing this condition. Actually here you can see that for the first row we have the j will vary from 1 to 1, and from the second row j will vary from 1 to 2, and from the third row j will vary from 1 to 3. For the fourth row j will vary from 1 to 4. That's why we are writing j is equal to 1. That is equal to, so if you talk about fourth row, it will vary from 1 to 4. So the well outer limit is equal to the number of, sorry, the outer limit is equal to the row number. So this row number is 4, and outer limit is also 4. This row number is 5, and outer limit is also 5. That's why we are writing here while j less than equal to I. Okay, now it is printing simply j, and then it is printing end is equal to nothing. Okay, then we are incrementing the value of j, so we should increment the value of j, and after this we are printing nothing. It means that if you don't pass anything in the print, then it will just print a new line. Okay, and after it we are incrementing the value of I by 1. Okay, so did you understand this program, or should I explain this again? Okay, so what are we doing here? So our actually we want to print the structure like this. Okay, so now you can see that firstly we have 5 rows. Then we will write where while I is equal to 1, sorry, I is equal to 1 while I less than equal to 5. This 5 is equal to number of rows. So we have number of rows 5. That's why we are writing here. So this is now inside this loop you can see that for the first row we have the value of the value of the value here is ranging from initially 1, then from 1 to 2, then from 1 to 3. So that is equal to the row number. So value is 1 2 3 here. That is from 1 to number of, so the row number is 3. So from 1 to 3. Okay, so firstly we'll have the value 1. The value of I will be 1. Okay, and we will go inside this loop because this condition is true, and here we are writing j is equal to 1 and while j less than equal to I. So initially the value of j will be 1 and the value of I is 1. So 1 is less than equal to I, this condition is true. Then we will print j and then we are incrementing the value of j by 1. So here initially the value of j will be 1 and after it the value of j will be 2, but this condition will be not true because 2 is not less than 1. Okay, so we'll exit from this while loop, then we'll print a new line and then we are incrementing the value of I by 1. Next the value of I will be 2. Okay, next the value of I will be 2 and again we will initialize j by 1. Okay, now the value of I j will be here 1. Then we'll print the this condition will be true because the value of j is 1 and the value of I is 2. So 1 is less than equal to 2, this condition is true. Then we'll print the value j, so we'll print 1. Okay, and after it we'll increment the value of j by 1. So next the value of j will be 2. Again this condition will be 2. Again this condition will be true because 2 is less than equal to 2 because the value of I is 2. So 2 less than equal to 2 condition is true. Again we'll print j, that is 2. Now we'll increment the value of j by 1. So the value of j now will be 3. Okay, but this condition will be not true because 3 is not less than equal to 2. Similarly, the value of I will be 3, 4, 5. Okay. So similarly, we'll calculate this again and again. Is this clear, everyone? So if you want to run this program, then you can see the output. You can see that the output is 1, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. Just don't be confused with it because it is very simple. Uh, we are we are we are checking the condition of j with respect to I. Okay, and we will range the value of j from I to from 1 to I. So it is very simple. We are ranging the value of j by from 1 to I. Okay, is this clear now, or should I debug this code? Okay. So if you want to see the debug code of this, then I can run this. So initially value of I will be 1, then this condition will be true, I less than equal to 5, then the value of j is 1, and then this condition is true because the value of I is 1 and j is 1. So 1 is 1 less than equal to, we are comparing j with I, just see that. Then this condition is true because both are equal. Now the value of j is greater than I. So this condition is not true. So we'll exit from the while loop and then we'll print the new line and then we'll increment the value of I by 1. Again you can see that we are doing that again. Now the value of I was 2. This condition was true. So we have now again we are initializing the value of j by 1 and now we are comparing the value of j with I. So the j I is 2 and j is 1. So this condition will be true and we are printing j. Now the value of j will be 2. Again this condition is true. We'll print j. The value of j is 2. So this condition, not the value of j will be 3 and this condition is not true. Then we'll print a new line. You can see that after it, a new line will be added. Now the value of I is 3. Again this condition will be true. So this similarly this will be print. For this we'll print 1 2 3 4. Okay, and for this when we'll have the value of I 5 we'll print 1 to 5. Okay, now we have reached to the value of now I is 6. Okay, if you check this condition 6 is not less than 5, not less than equal to 5, so we'll exit from the outer while loop. Is this clear now? Okay, now we will go to the for loop. So for loop is again similar to while loop, but here there is one here there is one change, that is in while loop we do initialization and updation. Okay, so I told you that in while loop firstly we initialize and then inside the body of while loop we perform updation. Okay, so if you talk about a simple while loop, so suppose that if I am writing while, initially we are writing is equal to 1 and then we are writing while I less than 3, perform any task. Okay, do anything. Okay, perform any task. So now you can see that inside, and after it we need to also update the value of I. So here we are doing, this is initialization and now this is updation. So we perform initialization and updation manually in case of while loop. So the benefit of for loop is that we do not need to write the condition of initialization and updation. This will be handled by for loop automatically. Okay. Okay. So please hold for 1 minute. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Okay. For Python for beginners. So do you want to? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 So yeah. Yeah. You can. No, no, just you can attend tomorrow and try to use laptop, okay, for joining the class. Okay, okay. Okay, so I told you that initialization and updation is done uh, automatically in case of for loops. Okay, So if you see the flow chart of the for loop, it is again simple and similar to while loop. You will have some condition. So here condition will be not the manual condition. Here the condition will be last item reached or not. Okay, so if the last item is reached, then we will exit from the loop. If the last item is not reached, then we will continue the loop. Okay, so this is simple. If the last item is reached, then exit from the loop. If the last item is not reached, then continue the loop. So if so suppose that we have a string. In this string we have atcg character. Okay, so consider this AC, these are bases. So if you remember DNA, then in the DNA we have six bases. So these bases are ATGC, means adenosine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. So we have here, just think it as a string. Okay, in this string we have characters ATCGATC character. So these characters we are considering as bases. So we are writing four bases in ATCGATC, print bases, and after it print a comma. Okay, okay, so if you see the output, then the output will be ATCGATC, means initially we'll print A. Okay, and then we'll print T, and then we'll print C, and then we'll print Z, then A, then T, and then C. This four, here you can see that there is no any initialization and updation condition, but we are looping here. Okay, so this is the benefit of for loop. So most importantly, this for loop is used to read sequences. Okay, so if you want to iterate over any type of arrays in Python, so I have told you that we have four types of arrays in Python. So firstly, it was uh, set, list, tuple, and dictionary. So if you want to loop through, if you want to read these sequences one by one, then you can use for loop there. Okay, so I will give you the example of all the reading all these array. So now if you want to see the how this for loop works, just try to see this video. Okay, so I told you that if last item is not reached, then body of for loop will be executed. So here you can see that we have names is equal to Anand, Kedar, and Sami. Okay, so we are writing four persons in names. So this is list. Okay, and we are writing four persons in names, print persons. So initially we will have Anand, will print Anand. Next, it will automatically read the next sequence. So, sorry, the next name. Okay. So the next name is Kedar. So it will print Kedar. Now, again, it will check the last item is reached or not. So, because we are reading Kedar, so this is not the last item. So again, we will continue the loop, and now we will have Sami. So we'll print Sami, and we'll check the last item is reached or not. Because the last item is reached, because we have now we are reading this Sami. So this is last item. So we'll exit from the for loop. Now you can see that. So it is printing Anand. Next, it is checking last item is reached or not. No, no, it will print Kedar. Again, it will check last item is reached. So it will print Sami. So now the condition last item is reached is true. So we'll exit from the for loop. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. So suppose that I'm giving the same example. Names is equal to Anand, then Kedar, then Sami. If you want to read this, so you'll just write for person in names and If you run this program, you can see that the output is, you can see that the output is Anand, Kedar and Sami. Okay. So if you debug this code, now you can see that firstly the person's value is Anand. Next, the person will be set automatically to Kedar. It will print Kedar. Next, you can see that person value is Sami and will print Sami. Next, you can see that it will be exited from the loop because it has reached up to the last item. Similarly, if you want to read any set, suppose that we have set, okay, and you want to read this set. So you will write here for item set. Okay, so debug is actually if you run this code without debugging, then it will give you the output of the whole code. Okay, but if you perform start debugging, so it will run your code line by line. Okay, so these are the breakpoints. Here the uh, control will be stopped, and next the execution of the program will be performed line by line. So this,
Okay, sir.
okay. So again, if you, this was the example of reading a list. If you want to read a set, then you can write 4 items in set example, print items. Now you can see that the output is 1, 2, 3, 5. Similarly, if you want to read a dictionary, okay. So now if you want to read this dictionary, then you for keys in. So because in the dictionary we have two things. So first is keys and another is values. So you want, if you want to read the keys, then you can just type for keys in dictionary example dot keys and then write print, sorry, print keys. You will print all the keys present in the dictionary. Now you can see that it is printing name and phone number. So name and phone number are the keys present in this dictionary. Similarly, if you want to read all the values in this dictionary, then you can write four values in dictionary example dot values and print values. I can see that it is giving you Anand and then the phone number. So the values are Anand and then this value. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, okay. So now we will connect tomorrow. Okay, so I will continue the four loop next. So one thing is remaining, that is nested for loop. So the nested for loop we will continue tomorrow. So if you have any doubt in today's class, you can ask.